What's going on, and welcome back to the Casual Gaming Conversation. I'm Nick, that's Rogan, and this is your weekly gaming podcast from Co-op 64. Rogan, thank you so much for joining me again on this episode. Thanks for talking indies with me last week, and now we're going to talk a little bit more about indies by the end of this episode with some of the stuff we're playing, but we're going to be talking Marathon. We're going to be talking Pokopia, a lot of the latest and greatest, but before we get into all that, how you doing, man?
I'm doing great, man. Feels good to be here. It's starting to feel natural.
Yeah.
Feeling very good. Yeah, I had like a great breakfast this morning, took the dog on a walk. It snowed here in Toronto, which like I thought it was all gone, but now it's back and
Yep.
I'm slightly depressed, but that depression is alleviated being here with you.
Oh, dude, that means a lot to me. Yeah, I ran this morning for the first time in a while.
Nice.
I've been going to the gym pretty regularly, but I'm not doing any cardio. My knees feel like crap right now.
How much do you go
2 miles.
when you run?
2 miles.
Nice.
And if I'm being real, like it's mile one lot faster than mile two. Mile two,
Yeah.
pretty much a struggle. If you were to ask me like
Very fair.
run 3 miles right now, it would probably be closer to 30 minutes than I would like to admit.
Okay.
I'm not doing
Yeah.
that in like 25. I'm definitely also, I was a lot better at running towards the end of last year when I was doing it more consistently, but the weather
Yeah.
it made it a lot harder there. But enough about me running. Let's run straight into housekeeping. You can get this show 3 days early over on patreon.com/coop64. You can get the casual gaming news conversation over on patreon.com/coop64. Shout out to the latest CGNC. You might not be the best news just in general, not a lot happening, but the podcast, phenomenal time. Me and Matt Lucid had a great time shooting that one. Also, you get a bonus episode of the Casual Gaming Conversation each and every week. We just did our Resident Evil spoiler cast, myself and Connor. That is a great episode. You're not going to want to miss it if you've beaten that game. If you've not beaten the game yet, it's going to be there for when you've beat it. It's a phenomenal pod, over an hour of just yapping through this amazing horror game. And then there's a backlog of spoiler cast, backlog of grading top 5 gamers, top 5 games from gamers. So just like so many fun and silly, stupid podcasts over on the bonus feed. You're not going to want to miss those. Also, at the next tier up, you get co-op podcast. Myself and Brady just shot the one for this month, and holy shit, we were like, hey, it's okay if it's a shorter one. Connor's not here. It can be an hour. We went for like an hour and 45 minutes. It was a fucking awesome time. And so shout out to the Co-op 64 podcast. Get excited about that piece of content. There's also Recollecting Retro, Connor's retro collecting show, where he takes you to a store or goes through a collection. It's a lot of fun. And then also at the $10 tier, you can write in to be part of the episode. This show and Casual Gaming News Conversation, we have write-ins for Slay the Spire 2, Pokopia, and Marathon. So thank you for all the people that wrote in. It really does mean the world to us. And then at the highest tier, you get your name read at the end of each and every podcast we do here at Co-op 64. And you can write in to be the 4th topic on the Co-op 64 podcast. We did pull 2 topics from the audience because there was just 2 of us to keep there to be 4 topics. The 2 audience topics, I'm going to spoil them right now. One was fondue versus chocolate fountains. And if you like Rogan, I did text him about chocolate fountains on the podcast. It is a very random text. Rogan is learning slowly and surely what a text from me in the middle of the day means. It means that we're definitely recording something. And then also the other one we pulled was stories from Torg, the Ohio Retro Gaming Convention, our first meet and greet that we did. Just going through that whole weekend, Brady and I chopping it up, laughing, having a great time. And that leads us perfectly into needing you to come up to PAX East, hanging out with myself, Connor, Brady, and then the man that's in the other box right now, Rogan, will also be there for this meet and greet, hanging out 7 p.m. The Boston Flight Club. You do not need a ticket to PAX East. We're just going to be crushing beers, hanging out, having a great time. We're going to be
so excited,
dude. It's gonna be like it's gonna be a blast. And if you want to hear a primer for what a meet and greet looks like with Co-op 64, listen to the Co-op 64 podcast. Holy shit, it is just a ton of fun. And like that whole weekend is going to be the perfect mix of, sure, it is a little bit of business at PAX, playing some new games and shaking
Yep.
a couple hands. But really, it's all about the shenanigans. It's about the time that you get with your friends, talking about games and hearing all the stories over a couple cold drinks. Rogan, I'm so stoked to meet you and grab beers, and it's gonna be a great weekend, man, for sure.
Oh yeah, dude. I am 4'9" in person, but you don't know that yet. So
That honestly would not shock me. You would though, funny enough, be 2 inches taller than Connor still. Fun,
well, okay,
yeah,
okay, good.
you got him beat out.
Good to know.
The two things that you need to know about Connor is he is extremely old. He is
Okay.
pushing
Yep.
84. And then
Nice.
also me and Brady were both 6 feet tall. Connor, he's only on a step stool. He is 4'12". I'm kidding. No, he's 4'10".
4'12".
Yeah, yeah.
No,
But
okay, nice.
so he's very short. No, he's not. And Connor, you know what? We make fun of him so much on this podcast already when he's not here. I know he's listening to it right now. Connor Rogan, I love you. You're amazing,
We love
but
you.
you're also very short. Anyways, yes, PAX, get excited. You don't need a ticket. 7 p.m. March 28th. Literally 2 weeks from the time we're shooting this. Shout out. It's going to
Crazy.
be crazy. I literally talked to Matt and Braden and then a couple people that like I are just. Well, Boston's also home for us, so it's going to be a great time. You're not going to want to miss it.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
that's awesome.
So like
That's gonna be great.
I had a friend be like, "Hey, you want to grab coffee?" And I was like, "Nah, I don't think I can like swing coffee in the schedule. Maybe like Sunday early morning." And she was
Yeah.
like, "Yeah, like I could do like 10:30." I'm like, "My flight's at 11:20. We're grabbing coffee at 8 a.m." And she's like, "I haven't seen you in a couple years.
Bright and
Like
early.
I'm so down." Like, and so
Yeah.
I got that. I think that there's a chance that some of my high school buddies are going to grab breakfast on Saturday
Nice.
before PAX. I'll definitely need a
That's so
greasy
cool.
bacon, egg, and cheese situation before after the night of
Yeah.
shenanigans on Friday. I assume that we'll get into, and then obviously the fun day we have planned on Saturday. It's gonna be a great time.
Hell
And
yeah.
we love Boston. It generally is home for at least myself. I love Cincinnati. It's also home, but there's just two different vibes there. Anyways, Discord. Join the Discord. Over 3,000 members talking about video games. Hopping in literally right now. Connor is playing Marathon with community members. And fun fact, I think he's been in the Discord this entire week playing with
I think so
Marathon
too.
with community
I have
members.
never gotten more pings from your Discord to play Marathon. It's awesome.
Yeah, so if you want to play Marathon, hop in, do that. If you want to share islands or environments in Pokopia, do that. Like there's a lot of fun happening gaming wise in the Discord. Be a part of it. Merch, cope64store.com. We have t-shirts, hoodies, and mugs. Reviews over on Apple Podcasts. It gets the show out to more people. And drop a comment about what you are feeling with Marathon, Pokopia, and Slay the Spire 2 especially. And also, before we get into this, as always, we'd like to shout out our amazing guests for coming on. But in this scenario, more than ever, because yes, I have played a couple hours of Marathon, and I can do a little bit of impressions. But Rogan is your headline in this episode with 2 of the 3 games, really, when it comes to impressions.
Yeah.
So thank you for being here, Rogan. And without further ado, let's hop into the episode. Topic number 1 situation. There's no headlines on the show. It always feels weird to host this show with you and not have a headline, but screw it. Headline. Let's talk about Marathon. Rogan has been playing it. Connor has been playing it. Brady's been playing it. I played it on stream for 3 hours and one time before it for about an hour. So I know how this game functions. But Rogan, how do you feel about Marathon, man?
Man, I'm so happy to be on this podcast talking to you about it because, like, this isn't a game I talk about on my channels.
Yep.
Like, I mean, I might, but I don't have a video coming up about it. So I'm like, how do I justify playing this game? Being on this podcast is how I do it. So thank you for having me. It's awesome to be here to talk about it. Marathon. I'm a big Bungie guy. Obviously, started it all with Halo, and a lot of people might be surprised to know that like I was obsessed with Destiny. Like Destiny 1 especially. I kind of fell off midway through Destiny 2, I'd say. But the first Destiny, some of those like early raids and stuff like that, oh, so good. Did you play Destiny at all?
So Destiny 2, I hopped into a little bit with my
Yeah.
buddy Matt Lucid, who's helping co-host. But other than that, like a little bit of Destiny 1 when I first moved to Mass, a little Destiny 2. I was a Halo guy though when it comes to Bungie.
Yeah. So, I mean, like, I don't know. For me, Bungie has some of the best gunplay in like video games, and I really like their art direction. Like, obviously Halo came out and it was revolutionary in the way that everybody kind of knows, but I think Destiny was, for a very long time, both Destiny games were some of the best looking FPS games that I've played. Like, even now you hop into Destiny 2 and some of those, like the skyboxes and just like the designs of the weapons are so cool. So when Marathon was announced, I was over the moon to see what they're doing with this, because it's like out of this world. Like, nothing else looks like this game. I love the bright, vibrant colors, and even just like the branding of it all is really weird, futuristic, and like sterile in a really odd way, but really cool. Very unfortunate that the art was kind of stolen
Yeah.
from somebody who I don't know what, like, online had called it out.
Yeah, hey, that person got paid a lot of money, and now Bungie owns
That's where
that
I was
art.
going.
They cleared
Exactly.
that one up.
They got a payday, very likely. So I'm very happy that that happened, and that person, apparently, I haven't seen it yet, but they're in the credits as well, from
Oh,
what I've heard.
that's
Um,
great. Like that, unironically, that's
yeah,
very very good. They should be credited for sure.
for sure. And so I guess I won't say I'm fully empathetic to Destiny, to Bungie for that situation, because it's like really
Yeah, it's
messed
fucked
up.
up.
But
Yeah,
I do think the due diligence happened post that, them finding out, paying the person, and the culprits of the taking of the art,
yeah,
were fired. So
yeah,
all this to say, I love Marathon a lot. I hopped in right off the bat. It's very overwhelming, like extraction shooters tend to be. I felt this exact same way with Arc Raiders with the UI. You hop into the game, the first thing you see is 10 million different things hopping up into your face, and you're like, what is going on? There's so much text. There are so many different tabs that you need to navigate to. I think that's going to be a normal experience for a lot of people, and I think that might be a thing that might push people away like instantly. But I will say that the more you commit to this game, the more it kind of starts to make sense, but you do have to commit to it. Like, I'm about 10 hours in, I
okay,
would say, at this point, and I just feel like I'm kind of getting the groove of
yep,
it. For people who don't know, it's an extraction shooter, so you hop into the world, you loot wherever you can in these like little buildings, and there's different areas across the map that you visit. You have like this quest system. You're doing these missions for all these like different corpos in the
yeah,
world, and just like leveling up through that. So you can either hop in, do your quests, hop out. You can also hop in and just like look for weapons or whatever you need to craft the next thing that you want to do, and you come back. It's just a loop of going in, looting, crafting, going back in again, essentially.
yeah.
And it's awesome. I'm really enjoying it. I never thought I'd be an extraction shooter guy, but I'm kind of turning out to be one.
Real quick, what are you playing on? PC, PS5? Where are you going with this one?
I'm on PC on
Okay,
Steam. Yeah.
and so let's start here. Are you said that you might not be an extraction shooter guy? You're turning into an extraction shooter guy and everything. Let's start with Arc Raiders. I feel like that's
Yeah.
correction. Were you a Tarkov guy at all, or did you try any? Yeah, I assume not, because
No.
no one
Too deep.
was. Yeah,
Yeah.
either if you were a Tarkov guy, everyone would know that you're a Tarkov guy. Like,
Yeah.
literally, like that would be part of your personality,
100%.
and that's a totally fine thing. There are people that love that game. The game apparently is super deep and fun and great. But like, if you are, you are, and that's just not the case for most gamers. Arc Raiders comes out. Did you
Mhm.
put your fair share of hours into Arc Raiders? What was your experience with that one?
Yeah, I put about just over 20 hours, I would say, into
Okay,
Arc Raiders. So I commit to it for a little while, and I had a buddy that I would go do runs with. Um, and I liked Arc Raiders quite a bit, actually. It definitely has its own vibe, and it's very different than Marathon, I would say. One of the main things with arc raiders that I really liked, at least at the start. Now it's getting like really hardcore, so maybe this is different with like the people who are really deep in it now. But there seemed to be a level of like you can engage with another team in the world, and there is a possibility that you could get out of this alive.
Yeah.
Both teams.
Yep.
There is a possibility that you would engage with the team and go, whoa, 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 whoa. Okay, we're doing our thing. You guys are doing your thing. Like, let's just go off and do our thing, or let's like pair up and defeat this guy. Doesn't happen all the time. Obviously, there's very aggressive teams out there, but it seemed like there was a higher level of that. In Marathon, if you engage another team, it's a firefight.
Yeah.
It just is. At least from my experience. I have not heard somebody on proximity chat be like, don't kill me, don't kill me, don't kill me. Or like, unless it's, so you can go in as a rook, which is like a character that you can pick that's like a cyborg where you can only go in solo as rook, and it's basically just it gives you a weapon and you don't have to use any of the weapons that are in your vault. You have like the essential things to do your run. You go in, it's meant to allow you to loot a bunch and then get out of there kind of like scot-free. The stakes are a little less than going in with your stuff. Sometimes I come across those guys who are like, don't kill me, like I'm almost done my run. And it's like, nah, you're done, buddy. Sorry. But when you engage another team, for me, it's been a lot more aggressive. And I don't have any like strong thoughts on that. I like how Arc Raiders feels that certain way, and I like how Marathon kind of feels this way so far. It does feel very distinct in the way that you engage different teams. And I'm not looking for this to be exactly Arc Raiders. And I do think that it definitely has its very distinct, like in the stakes department, they're kind of different.
As somebody that played Arc Raiders only for the 3 hours on stream, in general, the reason that I'm not talking about Marathon as much as Connor is, or you are, or Brady, extraction shooters, I just don't think are necessarily my favorite genre. I am always down to try new and cool games. That's why I tried Marathon.
Yeah.
But literally, I've been dumping time into Pokopia whenever I've had a moment to myself. So
jealous.
That is the difference maker there, where it's like, if I had literally Rogan and I, before we shot this, I went through my week and he was like, that is a lot of content. You do have a lot on your plate right now, man. And when I'm not doing that, it's Pokopia. But with Marathon, correction, going back to Arc Raiders, when I streamed that, like I was on proc chat being like, don't hurt me, and then just firefight me and Brady making fun stream moments. But I kind of do like that you enter Marathon and it is a general agreement. It's go time when you see other players. And like that sets a fun tone for a game where I think that the beauty of Arc Raiders, you look at a lot of those clips, and the reason that game really took off in a major way, I do believe, is it had its moment. It had the social media backing that you kind of need for a massive blow up multiplayer game with a new IP, Call of Duty, whatever, it's going to do what it does. Mm-hmm. But Marathon, everyone loved the social clips of, hey, we're working together, and hey, let's go and do this together, and all that is fun. But Marathon having that different vibe is a good second option. Like, I think that if people talk about an oversaturated extraction shooter market, it's like, well, these things are legitimately offering two different things. And as somebody that likes video games, that gives me choice, not everyone has the $80 to buy both. But as more and more people get a little bit stale with some of the Arc Raider runs, let's hop in and play a little Call of Duty in an extraction shooter. And I'll say for me, and this is where I want to go next, from a baseline, the gunplay is redonkulous in this game. It feels phenomenal. So where's your experience out with some of this weaponry, especially in the pantheon of the Bungie history of phenomenal weapons?
Yeah, well, I'm glad you went there next, because that's where I wanted to go next, was with the gunplay in the game, and sort of what I was talking about like engaging teams and it just being a firefight. I just think the way that's structured leans so well into what Bungie does best, which is the gunplay, and which is a PvP element. Like that's why I played Halo for so long. It was a big part of why I played Destiny for so long. Obviously, there's always going to be the PvE parts of things, but I don't know. When you get into some of those firefights, like in a lot of the areas of the game, they're so well designed that it almost feels like you're fighting on a multiplayer map or
Yeah.
something like that within these contained areas. So yeah, man, the guns feel so good, and they look so weird, just like
Yeah.
everything else in the game. But it's so cool. Like, man, you'll pick up a gun and it's got this like wonky ass scope on it, and you're like, what is this? And you start using it, you're like, this is my new favorite thing.
Yeah.
Like, it's so cool. And every weapon I've tried so far is really cool. I just picked up a sniper and I haven't used it yet, but like I'm hanging on to it for dear fucking life at this point, because I'm like, when am I going to take this out? This is valuable. Like, this is a valuable commodity to me right now.
You and I were
So
joking, real quick. You and I were joking. You're afraid to bring in the goods. Like that. That
Yeah,
is a big part of Rogan's extraction
yeah.
shooter tendencies. Is he doesn't want to bring in the big dogs. He likes having his beautiful vault of
Oh,
awesome weaponry.
100%. Like, I love staring in that vault and being like, look at all this beautiful loot I've brought in from Tau Ceti 5 or whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah, dude, the gunplay is amazing. I love how the guns look. I love how everything looks in the game. I think
Yeah.
this is one of the most well realized AAA games in recent years. Like, I am so impressed by Bungie's commitment to this. Like, it's not easy to have such a have such a cohesive look to something of this scale. And I didn't know if they could pull it off beforehand. Like, I had jumped into some of the betas and the more recent server slam that they did, and I
Yeah.
hopped into like just one of the maps at both those times, and I was like, man, I hope they can retain this level of cohesiveness across everything, and it seems like they are, at least for me at this point. It's so good, man.
Yeah. I mean, visually, it kind of is a holy shit moment with this game, in my opinion, because as
Yeah,
much as people for some reason didn't like the art direction in this game, like it or don't, which I think that most people should. I think the art direction is phenomenal, but once again, everyone has their own opinion. Like it or don't, it is unique. Like I don't know a lot of
exactly.
games that I can be like, that looks like Marathon. And guess what? Every game in the future that kind of looks like Marathon, the point is going to be that looks like Marathon. You can't
Yep.
go backwards, and when you go forwards in this timeline, we're all going back to Marathon as the creator of this art direction. And of course, as you said, it has a little
Yep.
bit of stank on it, but they did go and try to find the right ways around it after the fact.
Mhm.
Where I completely agree. It's like, what else are you going to do? This game needs to go and exist, and the person got paid handsomely, you assume. So yeah,
Yeah.
I think that the art direction in this game is off the fucking charts. Where are you at with I mean, you said that you're bound and everything. Any more when it comes to the art direction that you're like, dude?
Yeah, man, it's just like, it's exactly what you're saying. Like it or not, I do understand if it's divisive. Like, if
Yeah.
somebody goes in, I really respect this kind of commitment to something that looks like this. Like it or don't like it, I think this is something to be celebrated and should be a good thing, even if you don't really love the look at it, because to see something like this happen on the AAA scale, and if it succeeds in a way that I don't know, it like adds longevity to what the game is, I think we could potentially see more weird shit like this,
Yeah.
like, down the line. I look at things like Control has a really weird look, and this has a really weird look, and like, those are the games that you just like, it's like an earworm or a
Yeah.
brain worm. It just like sticks in, and it has such an identity. It's so great.
It feels like the people over at Bungie grabbed coffee with like Tim Schafer from Double Fine and
Yeah,
and
yeah.
with who oh my gosh, I follow this man on Instagram and I talk about him all the time. Director of or writer of Control in Alan Wake 2. Sam Lake.
Oh,
Yeah, Sam Lake.
Sam Lake.
It feels like Tim Schafer, Sam Lake, and the people over Bungie like had a conversation. It's like they're like not weird enough, and just continue to crank it
Yeah.
up and everything. A quick question for
Yeah.
you. I've only played on, I believe, one of the maps. I know that once you get to level 10, that you unlock on the map. Have you unlocked that third map yet, or are you still on the first couple?
I've unlocked it, but I haven't hopped into it
Okay.
because I'm freaked out by it. Dude, I've heard some really good things. It's called Outpost, I
Yeah.
believe. I've only kind of hopped into Perimeter and Dire Marsh.
Yep.
Both very different vibes as well. And I expect the same thing. From what I've seen, I've been like scrolling TikTok clips and
Yeah.
stuff like that. So I've seen it in action, but I love the sort of like raid mechanics and puzzle mechanics that they're incorporating into it. It looks really cool, and I really want to. I'm probably gonna message Connor after this and be like,
I was,
"Hop into Outpost,
I
buddy."
was I was about to say this is such a funny podcast because we're shooting it in the middle of a Saturday, which you and we've talked about. Like Saturdays are good days to get some gaming in, like just in
Yeah,
general, whether it is the work game or it is the personal game. And Marathon for you is such a personal game, I would say at this point,
yeah,
because you don't plan on making content about it anytime soon, other than this. And so,
yeah.
with that being said, like. Yeah, I would not be shocked if fuck. I mean, like I'm allowed to put Pokopia down after this podcast. If you say the word Rogan. I like the boy. If the
Dude,
boys are
hop
buzzing,
in there.
if the boys are buzzing, I'll fuck around and find out.
Yeah,
But when just to stick through with Marathon, the loop. This is one of the more interesting aspects that extraction shooters have, because I think that a
yeah,
lot of people, and I'm not saying that these people are right by any means, a lot of people, and we talked a little bit about this on your video game backlog podcast that will go out eventually on bonus pod, but people kind of forget like what a game feels like when it's not progression bar after progression bar. It's you're able to just like hop in and play multiplayer games and have fun just playing the multiplayer game. Like it doesn't always need to be give me the next battle pass, give me the next thing. The loop in this game, though, I hear often from extraction shooters is, so what's really the point? Like, what is that hook that like is bringing you back? And I think that broad scale arc raiders told people it's like, no, you're just finding the fun and getting better and stuff like that. What's the Rogan hook? What is the thing that like you're like, oh, like the lore? Oh, dude, I just love this fucking art design. Oh, I do want to upgrade my loot. What is the thing that's attaching you to Marathon right now, where you are gonna text Connor after this, where I'm gonna invite myself to you guys hanging out and play with you guys? But what is the thing that it keeps you coming back and personally that you want to go and progress through?
I think it's the there's a level of mystery to this game that is very enticing to me. I don't know if everybody else will feel it. There's a lot to discover in this game. There's a lot that isn't told to you. Like I've been balancing out hopping in with randoms and hopping in with friends. And with friends, it's almost like I'm relaying the knowledge that I'm getting from the randoms that I'm playing. Like sometimes I'm hopping into the game with some guys that like are quite a few levels higher than me,
Yeah,
and they're telling me like, dude, if you go pick up this data pad and then we go get this other one, this door unlocks, or what, like that. It might not work exactly that way,
yeah,
but they all have this like knowledge of the world where it's just like, nobody told me that he's like, there's this there, if you get this like key card, you can enter this door and you're gonna get all this like crazy loot. And I'm just like, I love how much there is to discover, so that part of it like gets its hooks in me quite a
yeah.
bit. Um, but dude, the lore part of it is the real thing that I'm like really dialed in on right now. Like just going in, doing your quest, coming out. Basically, what happens is there's these like mega corps that are giving you tasks to do down at Tau City. So it's like, I don't know, you'll go down and do like environmental surveys or like kill this many runners or get this information, right? It's kind of like some of it is fetch questy, and I'm kind of fine with it.
Yeah.
Like it doesn't feel like a burden because I know at the end of it I'm getting this like really cool lore dump about like what happened to this world. So to set the scene a little bit, and I hope I'm not butchering this
Yep.
because this game is also slightly convoluted as
Yeah.
well. Like it doesn't like outright tell you everything, but there was this venture from our solar system to Tau Ceti 4 to recolonize. They went there and they started trying to like grow food and like prepare for people to come in waves from our solar system there. Some mysterious thing happened. I don't quite know yet. And everything kind of like just went like disappeared, went offline. And now these like big corporations are coming here to kind of like pick up the wastes of what these initial venturers went out to colonize. And that's just such a cool concept for me. And the corporations too have all very distinct tones and like ways of communicating with you. Sometimes you're like working with them. Sometimes you're kind of like a bounty hunter, just like doing their bidding. It's really cool, man. Like and you get a whole bunch of different perspectives from each of them. They all kind of have a different opinion on like what exactly happened and like why we're here. It's very interesting, and I 100% know that like in the late game, there's going to be some crazy shit you're finding out about this place. I haven't gotten there yet, but that's the kind of Bungie thing. At least with Destiny, there was always like you're always learning some crazy lore stuff in like the big raids and the big end game things.
I mean, let's start here. Like one of the maps is like being like actively unlocked from people doing random shit in game.
Yeah.
And like, if that doesn't, for me, that I know that like the first thing that people go to Destiny raids sort of deal, people working together, on getting online, people dropping in parties, sharing information. I know that that's like what connects with a lot of people when you bring something up like that. For me, it's Call of Duty Zombies Easter egg hunts. It's the new map drops and we're all hopping in and Mr. Waffle's dropping guides and let me try this out and shoot the 4 graves to go and have this thing shit out a capsule and go and pick that up and bring it to the like all that is for me. That was like 10 years of my life. Like I loved that shit for so long. And like, that was so cool to me as a gamer and just a fan of COD Zombies around that BO3 era and such. And so this, having that level of a hook, and once again, I'm just a fan of cool ass video games that has so much more of a intrigue to me than an Arc Raiders that is the collaborative experience. But like, I play Arc Raiders, and I think that game is the most like casual, great for everyone, hop in extraction shooter. And also like a lot of people were able to get a lot of the jargon in Arc Raiders because their favorite streamer was playing it and they understood, hey, this blueprint is going to go and allow for this upgrade. And Arc Raiders also does a really good job of onboarding. They do hold your hand properly 100%. For a new person. Fucking Marathon says, we're tossing you with a deep end, no floaties, and the deep end is actually just a fucking ocean, and you're just gonna have to learn all the shit. And it sounds so dope. And like I've had a massive smile on my face during this conversation because like I'm talking to Connor, I'm talking to Ray, I'm talking to you, like and just hearing all these stories. Like it reminds me of the stories I heard about Arc Raiders, but Arc Raiders stories were often me and this buddy did this thing in the friendship aspect, in the companionship, or the people. That was what made Arc Raiders special. I think that Marathon and what it's setting out to do right now, the reason that it is retaining this player base, people, they don't have an option. It's like it's almost like a Severance situation where you kind of have to tune into the next episode, whether it is for the answer that you're trying to look for, or it just is visually so hooking. The gunplay is so hooking, and they sort of have this hodgepodge of like things that they're doing right, where it just sounds fucking awesome. So
totally.
So Rogan, before we bounce off this and like if there's any other spiels that you want to give on this game, I do relatively like you don't normally like we're not doing scores. It's straight up impressions. Are you gonna spend a lot more time in this? Like, is this gonna be your throughout the year hopping in? And then also like, are you going to be searching YouTube videos? Are you like, is this your shit right now? Is it going to be your shit in the future? And is it going to be your shit throughout 2026 and maybe even beyond, or nature of the job? And like, I know that like this is something that like is a little bit odd when you're doing an impressions thing, but I do want to make it personal because we have someone that's a creator and stuff like that on. Nature of the job, there's a fucking billion games to play. We're going to talk about Slay the Spire 2 and your experience with that thus far. And like we're just gonna talk about Pokopia. You're like, I don't have a Switch, but if I did, like, oh my god, like that's gonna be fucking awesome. I have so many questions. Like, do you think you're gonna fall off?
I hope not. I usually have like an ongoing game that like one that I'm hopping into more long term
Yep.
when I don't know, things die down a little bit. There's a little bit more downtime. There's I don't know. I'm just feeling like hopping in with a couple buddies and we're like, what do we play tonight?
Yeah.
This will probably be that game. I'm really hoping. I really want to stay as committed as possible. From here, it might dwindle down a little bit to like playing a couple hours here, a couple hours there. But yeah, nature of the job sort of like pulls me off things. Not to like pull the curtain back too much, but I think this. I don't know. For me, it's kind of like a special game so
Yeah.
far, and I am really kind of impressed with Destiny's commitment to not make this a game for the masses.
Yeah.
Like I really hope they don't change it too much or there's a lot of pressure for them to make it something that everybody likes because I think a lot of the beauty in it is how divisive it is and how committed they are to like some of the choices that they're making in the game. It's a pretty tough game. Like
Yeah.
and onboarding, like you were saying, is a lot better in Arc Raiders. I'll tell you that right now. I'm just over 10 hours in, and I'm starting to kind of understand how to navigate things. So that's kind of a blocker for people to stay with this long term. I do think if they like maybe alter some of those initial things, then like maybe more players will stick around. But yeah, I'm really impressed with like a game of this scale, sort of like doing what it's doing, making choices, committing to them, and doing them well. Like. I don't know. I feel like sometimes on the AAA level, you see things that are kind of like I don't know. Some open world games these days are sort of like samey
Yeah.
throughout and sort of like kind of sit in this happy medium of like it's not too offensive. I don't hate this that much. I also don't love it
Yep.
that much either. With Marathon, I'm looking at some of these choices with like the gameplay loop and the lore and the visuals and being like, I love this.
Yeah.
I love this a lot.
When people are doing top 10 lists at the end of this year, it's going to be a lot more people's 1, 2, 3 than a shit ton of people's 7 through 10. And that's cool.
Yeah.
That is cool.
Yeah.
And then
You'll either love it or you'll not really give it the time of day, and that's like that. I think that's totally fine.
Yeah.
That should be the case, you know.
Yeah.
Like that, and that's great.
and then like Kojima obviously well quoted with certain aspects of video game design. If you're making a game for everyone, you're making a game for no one. And this game is definitely not for everyone. But for the people it's for, it sounds like it's a slam dunk. So that's super dope.
That Kojima guy, he kind of knows what he's talking about, huh?
I've talked a lot about like just like what it would be like to go and be in the same room as certain people. I've gone to be around some great developers and such, and it's always impressive just to be like, oh yeah, there are people too. Kojima was one where I would like legitimately be like, I don't know how I can like not faint.
Sweating.
Like I just like Rogan tasked me. He's like, hey, Kojima's over there, just pass out.
Just see ya. Yeah.
Anything else on Marathon before we switch over to Pokopia?
Nah, man, I'm loving it a lot, and I'm gonna try to commit more to it, but time will tell. I'll keep you updated.
There's another game that I'm very curious how it's going to behave because it's another time sink, but we'll talk about that after we hop into Pokopia. So Pokopia is a weird one for me. This week has been extremely busy. So I've not been able to put in as much time as I would like to. I've put in about 10 hours. I'm still making that first section as pretty as humanly possible. This game is exactly what everyone says it is. It is phenomenal. And I want to start here. I think that the thing that they got the most correct is utilizing the Pokemon IP the way that they are. So for those who don't know, Pokemon Pokopia, it is a mix of Animal Crossing and Minecraft. You are crafting things, making your world prettier. doing small tasks for these Pokemon, having a great time. You're making your own home. You're filling out your house with cool shit. You play as a Ditto, though, in this game. You're not a human being. And as Ditto, you, throughout your experience, are going to learn moves from other Pokemon that you find to go and be able to further craft. What the first move you learn in this game is Water Gun from Squirtle. And you're in like this desolate wasteland, and you're just water gunning everything, trying to make it a little bit prettier and get your greenery in because I got water gun and this area needs to look beautiful because now it's mine. But the thing that they got like so right by utilizing the Pokemon IP isn't just like the fun little moves that these Pokemon have. It is what I've been deeming the Astrobot effect of having the Pokemon IP. And at the end of every task or thing or new environment that you create, you get what you get at the end of the Astrobot level. Which bot am I going to run into next? Which Pokemon in this scenario am I going to run into next?
Nice.
And every single time you run into a new Pokemon, you do sometimes get your moment where it's like, oh shit, like I don't even know who the fuck this person even is. Like it's all right. Like I maybe, or they're like not one of your favorites, and you're like you're not as cute as all these other guys. I'm not going to spend as much time with you or attention with you. Or you run into Bulbasaur, you run into Onyx, you run into someone that you like name Pokemon, and it's like they're probably there if they're popular enough. Once again, I haven't like found remotely everyone. I have no idea how many Pokemon are in this game, but it's doing such a good job of that being one of my personal favorite core mechanics of like I kind of gotta see who's next. Like, and when there's a rustling in the bushes, which is where you walk up and click and the Pokemon appears, it is like that like adrenaline rush, being like who is it? Like what am I going to get next? So you have that endorphin hit, and that is my favorite endorphin hit. But this entire game is just endorphin hits. It's walking up to Squirtle. Squirtle says an adorable line. It puts a smile on my face. I talk to Squirrel. I say, how you doing, bro? Are you happy today? And it's like, man, Nick, I'm not actually doing the best. I want food, or I want a toy, or I want my area to have a bed in it, or I want XYZ thing. And I'll be damned, Rogan, if I don't get Squirtle that thing. Like, I need
Gotta get it.
Because I can't have Squirtle be upset with me. It's fucking Squirtle.
No.
And so like and unironically, the thing that you get in Animal Crossing is sure you end up with your favorite townspeople. That happens. You want to know who I will remember more than any Animal Crossing town person? Fucking Squirtle. I like
the goat.
Yeah, like once again, I'm trying my best to like only utilize Squirtle's name because I want people to be surprised, especially being as close as I am. I don't want to say X, Y, or Z Pokemon that are in this game, because you'll then know that they're early games. So I'm just using Squirtle as my catch-all.
Yeah.
With that all being said, that's the extra endorphin hit. You got to go and do that. Well, also, it's building out this area and making it sick as you possibly can. So you're building your house. You want to progress your house. You want to go and do these tasks. These tasks unlock like Pokemon coins that you'll spend at a shop. You unlock new, you go and you pick up Pokeballs. These Pokeballs have recipes for new things that you can craft. You're trying to make this area look more beautiful. I picked up a fountain. I'm like, that's going to look sick in this area. But you drop it in some water, boom. I'm like, this area is way cuter now. Like, and here's the whole thing. Here's the honest truth. I am not a cozy gamer. I like Animal Crossing. That's kind of it. And Animal Crossing is the McDonald's of cozy games. Everyone like that's your baseline. That's your starter for a lot of people.
Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
Exactly. But
Yeah.
this has me. This is the other thing, and this is one of those ideas where you know how a lot of people are like, how has no one ever thought of this before? This is literally that done in the best possible way. I think that Pokemon Pokopia, I don't think that it's not my game of the year yet. I am nervous because the nice part is, Ben, I've been going to sleep every single day, fucking exhausted. I am so tired. The day ends and I'm done. But the days that it's stream ends at 10, and then I play Pokopia from 10:15 to 11, and then like my eyes are just like they're already trying to shut and everything, and I'm willing to struggle through like wanting to fall asleep to play this game.
Yeah.
But if you give me energy, we're going to be in a Hades 2 situation all over again where it's 10 o'clock stream finishes. Okay, clocking into my second time job, playing 6 more hours till 4 in the morning, waking up, posting, going back to bed for an hour, waking up, playing Pokopia as much as humanly possible until like it is the game that is going to be fuck. I have emails piling up. Fuck, I need to get some edits done. Fuck, I
Yeah.
have, but I don't want to do any of those things. I just want to play this game and make sure that Squirrel is doing all right. Like I like right now we are talking, and there's a chance that there is one of my favorite Pokemon not happy with me, and that is unacceptable.
You can't have that.
And so this loop is so good, and there's a mystery at hand. There's an actual narrative that is like interesting, where it is like, why isn't there human beings around? I don't know. You're picking up notes, and like the way that they're drip feeding this narrative is fucking rad. I feel like what this game's been out for about 10 days. I feel like everybody that's had this conversation about Pokopia, it is a very similar conversation. I'm just thankful that I get to go and rant about it. But like, holy shit, it's unbelievable. Do you got any questions or input on this? Yeah.
So, when it comes to the Pokemon that are in the game, how are they like approaching you? Like, are you catching them traditionally, or like are they just appearing on your land randomly, and you're like, oh, okay, this guy's here now.
So what you have to do is there'll be like a sparkly area on the ground, and you go and click on it, and it'll be like, if you create this biome, which is normally, hey, it's a tree and a couple of bushes around it, this Pokemon might show up, and it's a silhouette of the Pokemon. Well, who's that Pokemon? And so I go, tree, couple shrubs around, and then they don't just like appear. You have to run around. Continue being a little task rabbit. Come back around, all of a sudden those bushes are shaking. And when I'll be off in the distance and I'll see a bush shaking, and I'm like, no way. Like, just like,
gotta get there.
Running as fast as I can. But then also, it's not just that biome. That is the very base biome. I assume as you progress in this game, and like I've been trying to not see any of the other environments yet. I'm trying to make my area as beautiful as possible, and then I will move on to my next environment when I'm ready. Like the other part of this game, this is not going to be a Nick Evans race to the finish. I'm trying to get this done with so I can get on to the next one. This is going to be, and the reason I was like, I'm not going to lock in doing a review for this. This is going to be I'm playing this game like through May, I assume, and checking in with these Pokemon and doing this thing. Sure, eventually, like, when fucking Forza Horizon 6 comes out, that's going to be my 3 a.m. game and stuff like that. That'll take over that area. But for the month of March and for the month of April, I really do want to sink 50, 60, 70, 100 fucking hours into this thing. Like, this is my go-to thing. But with that, getting back to the main point, some of the environments that you're building are different already. Like, you go and you get by the ocean, and it's like, okay, like, set up a fishing rod and set up a stool, and then like you can go, well, that's a new environment, and here's Magikarp. Like, that sort of stuff is like it this game is like would be miserable for somebody that like does really poorly in casinos, where like all the like light and like the flashes, it's like, well, I gotta go to that table, and the sounds of the chips feel amazing, and like it's just endorphins and feeling good and dopamine hit after dopamine hit. Like, holy shit. Like I friend of the channel, Jacob, talking a little bit with him, man, like he's like, fuck, like every single time I pick up this game and then it's like 3 hours later. The only reason I'm not having these like 3, 4, 5 hour sessions is literally it's just been a go week. But other than that, like, man, this game is special. Literally, I go and I told you what was happening today. I had 30 minutes before this podcast, and I go flip over the monitor. Okay, I got Pokopia on this screen. I got a podcast on this screen, and like I'm loading the co-op pod, and like just like if I can get 30 minutes in, I'm doing it. And literally, I caught one extra Pokemon. I made 2 other Pokemon's days better. I built something, and I'm like, I progressed, and it feels like good progression. Yeah.
So, what kind of player are you in this type of game? Like, are you trying to make your island as beautiful as you possibly can? Are you just kind of like laying shit down and dealing with it later? Are you just like, how are you balancing out like the sort of like more decorative aspects of the game?
It's a great question. Normally I'm okay with making my island in Animal Crossing a lot like my home in real life, where it is the beautiful areas need to be beautiful. But if I need a pile of crap over here, there'll be a pile of crap over here for the time being.
Everything off screen now it's a disaster.
There is a stack of like we use a stack of games to like go and prop up phones for TikTok lives. There is the stack of games. I haven't streamed in a couple days. It's still just out with Project Hail Mary on top. And then there's a
Yep.
guitar laying on my couch, and the Leviathan axe is kicking from when I shot the top 50 for that. And so like
Project Hail Mary is a great book,
I
by the
haven't
way.
I haven't
My favorite of all
dude.
time.
Oh, nice. I haven't turned a single page of it because I got it a week ago, and every moment that I've
Yeah.
had to me, and it really does show like how like just nonstop busy I've been.
Oh
Every
yeah.
moment I've had has been to Pokopia, like every
Hell yeah,
single
man.
fucking moment. And it's a lot like what you said. It's like I'm just happy to get to talk about this game, man. When you were like marathon,
Yeah.
like I just kind of want to rant. Like I'm just
Yeah.
happy to fucking talk about this game. Yeah,
But
but
like
sorry, real quick, when it comes to
sure.
I'm excited to hear this next question. But when it comes to just to finalize the point, when it comes to Pokopia in the decorating process, I am being a little bit more diligent. Like I am like being like,
Yeah.
okay, like I want this road to look like a road. And so I'm like, okay, those steps look a little bit weird. How can I go and like have this be a thing that like now looks pretty? But then there's like the main like environment area where you like really first start to find people kind of is
Yeah.
a jumbled mess, but it's a mess that I will not let be a mess. Like because
Yeah.
I care about these Pokemon too much. I need these Pokemon to love me because
They need to be happy.
they're so cute. Like this is the other thing. And I mentioned this when I talked about Super Mario 64 and the music in Super Mario 64. We underappreciate Mario music as a culture. It is a issue. Mario music is fan fucking tastic. It is
Yeah.
elite, but it's just Mario music, so you don't think about it. Pokemon are the same thing. Where it's like, dude,
Yeah.
do you realize how cute these things are? And like the voice lines that these guys are delivering are so funny and so charming and so adorable. It's like it's not voice acted, it's text box. But like
It's text.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's Pokemon Company. Come on.
Yeah, exactly. What am I thinking?
But like I am so enamored with how they pulled this off. And it is like
Nice.
it is a heist and a half. Sorry to interrupt your question. I just want to finish the decorating aspect
No,
of the
no
game.
worries. Yeah, no. So I remember we were chatting recently, and you didn't like you weren't a Pokemon guy growing up, right? Like,
I mean, we talked about this a bit. Yeah, like my first one was like Diamond and Pearl. Like I played a little bit of Yellow on the
yeah,
Game Boy when, and I stole that from Connor and probably played through the first gym. But like
yeah,
I like Pokemon Go is the Pokemon game I've played the most of by a country mile, and I still play Pokemon
yeah.
Go. Like especially when we're at PAX, you will see me phone out like catching some mons. I
Nice.
do like Pokemon in that capacity, but I'm not a Pokemon
Yeah.
fan. I'm not. It's funny though. I shot with Java the next day, and we talked a lot. Everyone except for me, it feels like had Pokemon just their entire upbringing. Like it just was
Oh
something
yeah,
you
it
did.
was
But
important.
but that was not the case for me. No.
Yeah. So, not to spoil anything, but are you seeing Pokemon from like across gens as far as you know, or like are they sticking to one
As
thing?
of right now, I really feel like they are going with OG 151. I'm in the first area.
Okay.
There might
Yeah.
already be one or two bonds that like I'm legitimately like, is that Gen? I don't think that that's Gen 1. So
Yeah.
I would say like no, there's more than the one OG 151.
Okay.
Around it definitely actually now that like I'm starting to think through my area, I'm like that definitely is not Gen 1 for sure. I haven't
Yeah.
run into
Oh,
any of
dude.
the other starters from other gens yet. I'll say that much. But
Okay.
I want to. Like I'm in the first section of this game. There's a chance that they
Bring them
show
in
up.
here. Yeah.
But yeah, I think that this is one where it's like, how do I not fill out the Pokedex? How do I not?
Yeah.
There's little guys that need saving. Like
Oh, so there is a Pokedex like mechanic. Like you are trying to find everybody. It's like,
yes
you
and
know.
no. Yes in the sense that I do think that there will be a way at the end where it's like you don't have these guys and you need to go
Oh,
get them.
okay.
But right
Yeah.
now I don't get to look and just see how like a bunch of
Mm,
silhouettes or anything. I think that they're trying to keep
okay.
a level of mystery to the Pokemon that are coming out.
Fair.
At least as far as I know, maybe like not that I've seen. I've not gone too deep into the menus because I'm too busy trying to help these cuties.
Yeah.
But yeah,
It's awesome.
Pokopia, 2 thumbs up.
Dude,
It,
I want to play it so bad.
this we are. I will say like game of the year watch. Like this
Yeah.
year in Nintendo, Matt and I just shot a great podcast about this. Listen to this podcast if you want a shit ton of Nintendo conversation and Pokopia conversation. We talked for like 40 minutes about those two things. The question was like, you got Fire Emblem, you got Pokemon Pokopia, and you got the Dust Bloods. Like, is that enough? Was the big conversation we were having. it's like the other two, like they're going to be great. Obviously, you expect a lot from Miyazaki and that team. You expect a lot from Fire Emblem and how good those titles have been recently, especially for the big ones. Pokopia is the game, though. This is in 2020. Who name another 2020 Nintendo game? You can't. It's Animal Crossing. Like it was just the thing. Like and everyone was kind of okay with that. It's like, yeah, I'm gonna dump my 60. Actually, I think I know one, but I'm not going to say it just for my argument's sake. Like this is what you did. You just it wasn't even a major game. You just dump a ton of time into that game, and that's your Nintendo game for at least the foreseeable future. And then we're going to get these other titles, which will be great. Pokopia is going to be either in the top 6 games for Game of the Year. If it's not, holy fuck, it's been a phenomenal year for gaming.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
I was talking to Brady about this beforehand. Probably in the top 3 of Co-op 64's Game of the Year list. With the way that we do our math and stuff like that, all 3 of us are playing it. All 3 of us are loving it. It's probably going to be within the top 5 for all 3 of us. That will normally do you to get in the top 3 area for us. Pokopia, Rogan. I have a quick question to you. Is this the moment where you're like, Switch 2 would be pretty nice? Kind of thinking about it.
Yeah, I'm itching for it. Yeah, for sure. I just, for the audience's sake, I don't have a Switch 2. I've been holding off. Nothing really has been drawing me to it just yet. Like, I think Hades 2 would be sick to play, but I have that, like, I have a Steam Deck OLED and that like looks so good. And Donkey Kong Bonanza is some, like, I love just the Nintendo platformers, right? So, but those are really the only 2 things that sort of have been on my mind. I've also, like, Pokemon Violet and Scarlet. I skipped those ones out. Skipped those ones on the Switch 1, but I've heard they run a lot better on Switch 2. So might have that on the list. But Pokopia has been the single thing that has been like, I think I need a Switch 2 at this point. It's a system seller, man. It's cool. I've heard this same story quite a few times of people being like, yeah, I picked up a Switch 2 just to play this freaking game. Yeah, I love it. It's awesome.
A good buddy of mine, I ran into him, and he knows that he literally was like, I knew he's a Pokemon guy, knew I was gonna run into him today, knew we were gonna talk some Pokopia, and he's got a Switch 2, and he, like, that's his system. And I was like, hey, man, how you doing, Pokopia? And he's like, dude, he's been dating this person for like 3 years. They live together. He's like, I haven't touched it. My partner is just owns my Switch now. Like, they won't let me touch it. Like, they won't, like, I'm like, hey, babe, like, can I get? And she's just like, no, like, you are not getting close. You're not getting close to me, dude. And I was like, that's awesome. And I will see her tomorrow and everything. And I'm excited to talk to her about it, because I was pretty excited this morning to be like, I'm going to see you. We're going to talk about this game, and we're going to do the whole spiel for this podcast. And yeah, this game rules, man. It fucking rules.
That's awesome.
A game that I want to know if it rules or not. Early access, Slay the Spire 2. Rogan, what a fucking 1-2 punch of having you on for the 10 essential indie games, and then being able to talk about what many will look at as their most anticipated indie game for 2026. Slay the Spire. Tell me the tale of the tape when it comes to Slay the Spire 1 with you. Or is this your deck builder go-to? Is this the game your Steam Deck go-to and such?
Yeah, I love the first Slay the Spire game. I played it on my Nintendo Switch, actually, just like purely on handheld mode. When this was probably pandemic period. It was a point where I was like traveling quite a bit for work or something like that. I can't really remember, but like it just came into my life at the most perfect possible time when like I was just carrying my Switch around everywhere, and this was sort of the go-to game. I'm like, it's my first deck builder, I would say. And so many have come out after it, and I think a lot of them look to Slay the Spire as like some level of inspiration or some level of like this is one of the best of these and one of the first that did it this well. And so like we did our thing over here. I love deck builders in general. I think like a lot of my favorite indie games of all time are deck builders. But yeah, for me, this is where it all started. And I'm not that good at it, I would say. My strategy is wonky at best,
Okay.
but I still like really enjoy building a deck and like really getting in there. Don't really know like a lot of the story lore aspects of this world, nor do you really have to.
Yep.
But it seems like the second game is leaning a little bit more into like telling you the story of this
Oh,
world in a
nice.
more sort of like overt way. Like, here's what's happening here. And yeah, I really enjoy that about it.
So, Slay the Spire 2. This game comes out in early access. You're playing
Hmm.
Marathon, but you're the indie
Yep.
guy. You got a job to do. I don't
Yep.
know how much time you put in this at all. We've literally talked none about Slay the Spire 2. We were saving it for this podcast.
Yep.
Where are you playing it, and how many hours have you put into it, and how are your overall thoughts with Slay the Spire 2?
Yeah, so I think I'm about 7 hours into it. Just right off the bat, I try to avoid early access beyond sort of gathering some initial thoughts and then putting it down and waiting for 1.0. Like that's what I like to do. I didn't even play Hades 2 in early access. I just completely held off. If I was making content at the time that access had come out, maybe I would, and that's why I did it for this. Like I really wanted to get some early impressions of it. But also there's co-op there. So obviously this is on Steam, and I've been hopping a little bit into the single player. But for the past couple nights, me and a buddy of mine have been hopping into co-op, and dude, this game in co-op is crazy. Like it's in early access right now, right? And so my point with talking about it being in early access is like I don't really want to play anymore, but also I really want to play a lot more. So I'm very conflicted.
Real quick, this is the perfect
Sure.
time to bring in the point, and we will need to double back on some Patreon write-ins because I was too excited about Pokopia, and I will
Yeah.
just we want to get there. Plant Zaddy writes in question for Rogan with Slay the Spire 2
Yeah.
releasing early access on Steam. I'm curious if it's a Hades 2 situation. While that was an enormously successful early access, I bit my tongue and waited until the full release date, a la Two Shoes, and felt highly rewarded for going in blind to it. I absolutely love Slay the Spire. So curious your take on starting now versus the full release. Big fan, boys. Shout out to you, Plant Daddy. That's a great question. You're
Oh
just
yeah.
hopping in. You're talking about like the personal like struggle of getting impressions and such, and how much you're
Yeah.
enjoying it right now. But just for Plant Daddy, no one else. Should they wait, or are you telling them to wait, or can they dip a toe in?
Dude, I don't know. This thing seems balanced
Yeah,
already. Like I am not running into very much that isn't very solid with the exception of like placeholder images here and there.
yeah,
Like and obviously this game is probably going to stay in early access for over a year.
yeah.
Like I'm anticipating that. I don't often see early access games sort of like come out any less than that, and I think a year is a good amount of time for them to like make the changes that they need to do. But man, if you are itching to play this game in co-op specifically, I say pick it up and do it. If you are mostly a single player person for this type of game, I would say wait,
Wait.
because the overall thing with this game is it's like there aren't a lot of fundamental changes to just the gameplay loop. It's the same card game. It's the same flow. Like you sort of have your track and you're choosing sort of like which encounter to come across. It's either like, a minion or the shop or like a random narrative event or something like that. And you're going through it to get to the boss. That's the same exact thing from the first game. It's just expanded. Like it's like they built up narrow in the first game and now they're just stretching it out wide in the second one. it feels like such a full experience. There, like, I haven't even explored like a subsection of the new stuff they've added. It's like different cards have different abilities. You can make these like, it's all about making your build, right?
Yeah.
And a lot of the times your builds lean into specific abilities that each of the cards sort of add to your character. And there's always been like a good pool of abilities in the first Slay the Spire. In this one, there's so many more different options for the different characters. There's more characters in this game, first of all, and I think their plan is to add even more through this early access period. And just like the avenues that you could take with each character and each of their decks is like, there's so much depth here. It is wild. So that being said, it's it's still very much this same game. And if you're sick of the first Slay the Spire, then yeah, by all means, like hop into this. It's going to be a great experience. But I do think that if that's the single player experience is all you're looking for, then yeah, I would say wait until 1.0. Not because this is bad, but because I think you're going to be like very pleasantly surprised based off of your experience with Hades 2 from the commenter.
So you go and you're playing the co-op, you're playing some single player, you're getting just some impressions in and everything.
Mhm.
Are you going to be able to put this thing down?
It's going to be very hard because it's going to be very hard because initially I was just playing the single player for a little bit for the first couple days of it being out, and I was really impressed with it. But I was like, I'm okay to stop playing this right now
Yeah.
and just wait for 1.0 because I'm really enjoying myself and I just want to come in and be surprised by the next thing. But the second I started playing co-op with my buddy, who was also really dialed in on the first Slay the Spire, it was like, oh, this is a very special experience.
Yeah.
It is wild how well they've brought this experience into like a multiplayer sort of framework. I didn't know how well it was going to work when they first sort of mentioned co-op was going to be here. I know that there are mods for the first game that you can play multiplayer and that sort of thing, and I've heard they work decently well, but I was wondering how it would be implemented here, and it's great. Like, you could see your partner's cursor, and whenever they like hover over a card, like you could see it on your screen, so you can kind of see what they're working with on their side. Or if they're like, okay, we should sometimes when you're in an encounter, there's like multiple different enemies, so you're trying, part of the strategy is to figure out, okay, who should we target now, like who should we do damage to, who should we put this status effect on, that sort of thing. And my buddy Cam, like, he has his cursor and he's like, when we're talking to each other, we're like using the cursor to like, okay, if you attack this guy, and you can kind of see him mousing over that, and you attack the, it it makes for like such fun strategic conversations, that just that little thing. And it's so fun to work together in this game, and it feels very balanced. Like, it doesn't really, sometimes you add co-op to a game that's like, that was supposed to be single player, and it kind of feels like you're trying to force something and then
Yeah.
things don't quite feel right. But so far we're really good. We have a run going right now, and we're sort of in the second area, and it's getting just as tough as it needs to be. We're coming out of some battles by the skin of our teeth, but
Yeah.
like, but that's how it's supposed to be at that point, and it's like really intense. It's great, man.
So you bring in the balance, you bring in the design. When it comes to like, did they change up art design at all, or are they going one for one? Hey, it worked so well the first time around, we're just gonna run it back.
Yeah, it's like it's definitely got the same art direction, but it seems like there's a little bit more fidelity. Some of the animations are a little bit smoother and cleaner. I'm not like the biggest fan of the art style of either of these
Yeah.
games. Not because it's bad, but it just doesn't like vibe that much for
Yeah.
me. But that's not like, it's a really minor thing for this type of game. But they definitely like amped it up a little. Like what I was saying with sort of like stretching this thing out wide, it feels it just feels like a more robust experience. There's just more
Yeah.
of it, and more that's executed really like professionally almost. It's great.
I like that you're like, yeah, like it's not like doing anything for you. I've seen the gameplay of Slay the Spire 1 and a little bit of Slay the Spire 2 when I was pulling
Mhm.
stuff for Hype Meter this past month and everything, and I'm like, yeah, like this is an art design. Like
Yeah.
it's not hitting the heart at all. It's not being like, whoa. Definitely not marathon.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Yeah, exactly.
it definitely is solid. I totally get that. Do you have any more, like, because it's early access, we don't want to go with it. We'll bring you back on in the year and a half in next September when this thing
Yeah.
releases in full, and when you put your 90 hours into it. If
For
you don't
sure.
put your 90 hours in now with co-op with your bud, but
Yeah.
I is there anything else that you're like, oh, like I'm very curious about X, Y, or Z? Any like, are you going to be hopping in every update, or do you just have any final thoughts on Slay the Spire 2?
Yeah, I think the co-op aspect of it is gonna be the thing that brings me back to each update and sort of just like stay up to date with it. I don't think this is gonna be a Hades 2 situation for me where I just like completely don't touch it until 1.0. I wish it could be that way, but I also like I want to be able to talk about it on content and stuff like that. So yeah, I'm gonna be hopping in, especially co-op.
Heck
Like
yeah.
that's just the main thing to me. And yeah, I just think the parts of it are like work in progress. It's really funny. So there is the narrative track of the game. Like it kind of reveals different aspects of the narrative. There's this timeline, and it's revealing things as you unlock stuff, like way down in the timeline, and then all of a sudden you unlock something like really early in the timeline, and you're kind of piecing together the puzzle non-linearly through the game, but when a lore piece is revealed, there's like a piece of art that comes up, and so many of the pieces of art are like work in progress and clearly done in like Microsoft Paint or something
Yeah,
like that. And it's like I don't know, it's really funny. Obviously it happens all the time with like early access stuff, but it's just the illustrations that they have in there are so rudimentary. It's great.
that's awesome,
It's
man.
awesome. It's like it peels behind the curtain, and obviously they're great, and they're gonna make like some art that looks really cool. I say the art style of the actual game is not that great, but there are these sort of like illustration aspects that do come up that are more kind of like drawings, like a little bit more painterly, and those are really really good.
All right, Rogan. Anything else before we move on?
Uh, no, I'm sorry I can't give a definitive answer over whether you should hop into this or
I mean,
not. I'm very conflicted.
that's such a personal
Yeah.
question already, though. By the way, I'll
Yeah.
help you plan, Zaddy. Don't do it. Early access sucks. I understand why dev teams do it, especially the big ones that are
Yeah.
capable. When you have a Slay the Spire 2 or a Hades 2 and they got the funding and they're able to do it, don't do it.
Yeah.
I hate it. I hate early access. I can't stand it. Unless it's like
I know. Yeah.
Fortnite, where it's like that's like 10 years of early access. Like they're just running as an early access game, basically,
Yeah.
for financial reasons to some level. But yeah, if
Yeah.
there's a full game, Rogan, you know it's true. You know you're at the point where you should stop playing, but it's got your
Yeah.
hook. It's hooks in you, dude. It's making you go
I
for it.
know.
Um,
I wish I could do it and just like hop into it, like, and be completely awed by how awesome it is,
yeah.
in like a year and a half from now, but I don't have the willpower.
That's fair. I do want to go back just a little bit to the two previous games and bring these write-ins
Yeah.
from Brutal. They said, I found Pokopia to be a massive breath of fresh air for the series. It's convincingly strikes the middle ground between Minecraft and Animal Crossing and wraps it in a surprisingly innovative use of the Pokemon IP. I am not a Pokemon ride or die. I've played the series since Red or Blue, and my feelings have changed as the series has. With recent shoddy output like Scarlet and Violet, and especially ZA, I have never been more done with Pokemon in my life. Then, just when I thought I was out, they pull me back in. Can't wait to see how the game unfolds as I dig into what it has to offer mid and late game. So, in all, very pleasantly surprised with Pokopia. I think that that's everyone's general consensus,
Yeah.
especially like either you love Pokemon and then you love this game, or you don't love Pokemon that much, like you just like know about them and then you love this game. Like,
Yeah. Yeah, I think so too. And Man, I love that they put out this type of game that's getting this type of a reaction to it because it just shows the mainline Pokemon games that like a lot of good stuff is happening outside this. Like even with Game Freak working on Beasts of
Yeah.
Reincarnation, it's like it's almost these are good ways to hold the mainline Pokemons accountable to like doing something better
Yep.
than what's happened.
Yeah, that's a whole CGNC ass conversation
Yeah,
there. Rogan,
100%.
we
That's a
haven't put
deep
you,
hole.
we haven't been on CGNC in a few weeks. You're like, oh, dude, like we could go for an hour on that point alone, man. And then bring back into Marathon with our guy Lee Jitsu, who has been, I believe, playing some with Connor throughout this time. I don't think Marathon sniffs any goatee noms, but it's 100% here to stay. The lore of the gameplay and design of this game keeps me wanting more and more. I want to toss this out there. Marathon's here to stay, right? Like we're all in that this game's going to stick around, and the bunch of fan base is totally for it, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah. 100%. I mean, like, man, with these types of games, for the rest of time, you're gonna hear the word Concord
Yep.
come up. I promise you, Sony will not let this happen again. That is a catastrophic mistake, and they're going to do everything that they can to avoid that sort of thing. And I do think Marathon is here to stay. I think it does have the legs. Like there are always going to be people that are like keeping an eye on the player counts, like with a like a magnifying glass, but I don't know. That's always going to fluctuate. Then I guarantee you the next like major sort of content drop for Marathon, like you're going to see record high players.
I think that literally this is Destiny 2 situation. You're waiting for the raid, you're waiting for the next big thing, and then the fact that the word of mouth has been as strong as it has been, like, and the word of mouth is actually really interesting because you have the people that are like, this game sucks balls and I'm never playing it and I hate this. But you also have the people that actually gave it a fair shot. And for me, I gave it a fair shot. I'm out. It's fine. But
Yeah.
the people that are in, like talking through with you, it's so hard to be like, how are you not in on something like this? This
Yeah.
seems awesome as shit.
Yeah.
Before we get to the draft, blueprints. I want 5 minutes just to talk to my
I've been
guy
waiting for
real
this.
quick. First and foremost, thank everyone that has been enjoying Blueprints mornings. Thank Rogan. It's been awesome. The Twitch streams are insane. We didn't go really through it on Housekeeping. We're obviously Monday, Thursday, 7 to 10 streaming. Next week, we've been doing Blueprints in the mornings. Having a great time there. But like, it was supposed to be 3 days, 2 hours each stream.
Yep.
It turned into 4 days. That last stream went for an extra half hour. This upcoming week, the plan right now is 4 streams, each are 2.5 hours, and I'm gonna try to beat this motherfucker. I'm gonna try to get through this game next week. And
I love it.
And Ro, when I tell you that, like, it's all I can think about. Last night, I was with a group of friends. We're all catching up, and everyone's just talking about their day. And they go, "Nick, how's your week been?" I'm like, I can tell you about like some of like the highs and lows this week, or I can just talk about blueprints. and literally, like half of this group doesn't play games, and I was like, no, but like you don't get it. Like you don't get it. Like you don't understand what this game is doing to my brain right now, because every little piece of information I get run after run feels so good. And sometimes it's, oh damn, I messed up in a way, but then I go and I grab the key card and I get to put it in my code check and I get it for the next run, and great. Like I made a little bit of progress. But the moment I'm having, whether it is, I'll bring it up. It's I'm just gonna try to say room names to like keep things as oblivious as or ambiguous as possible. When you get into the rumpus room and you put the coin in the machine for the first time, you're like, what the fuck is happening? Oh my God. Cool. This is a video game, dude. This is what it's all about. When you get to the garage and for the first time you are able to go and hit the button and see what's happening there.
And the music.
So good. And then you do have your puzzles that are all... They make you feel so smart. And there's some of them that I haven't figured out yet. And yeah, I'm probably a dummy because I haven't figured it out yet. But the ones that I've figured out thus far, I'm like, I feel like a genius. This feels so freaking good. And then the ones that I haven't figured out yet, I'm having just as much joy by not figuring it out, but writing the information down and knowing it's going to help me later down the line as I am figuring out the fucking puzzles. So like I to be very frank, if I could do anything right now, I would want to just not create content and I would just want to play Pokopia and Blueprints and just do that.
Just
And
at the same time?
yeah,
Just
just
have one on
taking
each screen?
notes and feeding
Yeah.
Squirrel at the same
Yeah.
time. Oh, but like I can't stop. And like I this is becoming legitimately an issue in my life. Like
Yeah.
I fear that I do have some issues with the game. I don't think it's perfect. I still
Mhm.
think that you
Yeah.
are a jerk for putting it over Hades 2 last year, and I will not forgive you for that ever. I don't think it's a masterpiece. I don't think it's a 10. I do have a couple of gripes. But what this game does well is freakishly done well. It
Yeah.
doesn't half-ass anything it's going after. It is such a in-depth treat of a puzzle game. And the roguelike
Yeah.
natures, love them or hate them, I hate some of them, are so
Yeah.
freaking good to go and feel the progress that I want at a pace that feels great. And the
Yeah.
bite-sized nature that I'm taking this game, the 2.5 hours, every single time I put that, so I end stream, I push my keyboard back where the pen and paper was, I put the keyboard back, put the legal pad, it's right over there, down, put the pen down, and I'm like, what do I do with my life now? Like, because all I want to do is continue to play, but I have
Yeah.
responsibilities. I have things that need to get
I
done.
know, dude. This
It's
this game, this game infiltrates your brain in a way that's, like, not healthy, especially if you have other shit to do, you know? What was your like, not to get too
yeah.
long on this, but, like,
We
what
had
was your journey what was your journey like with it? Like, from that first run that you did, did you have, like, any I don't know, did you have any assumptions about it that you were like, "Oh, I'm not gonna stick with this," and then you progressively got there,
so
or was it just like a hit instantly?
it was a pretty large hit instantly, and I want to compliment you a little bit on this because you are obviously a really good influence when it comes to playing indie games and spotlighting games that are
Oh,
not normally in
thanks.
my bag. And I will say, without talking to you, I don't think that I probably would be doing this. So thank you for putting me on to peak. With that being said, I am playing this in the way that I know myself, and
Yeah.
this is, I'm not trying to pat myself on the back too hard or anything, but like I made this the perfect setup because getting to make content out of it and like having the time
Yep.
to stream it and being like, I'm putting on the schedule to stream it and make content out of it allows me to be like, I'm going to be here for 2 hours anyways. Might as well try to have fun. Might as well try to enjoy this. And then I'm doing it with a cup of coffee. I'm starting my day strong, going and like on Wednesday, like I went and worked out before stream and everything. I got a bit extra early, and I'm gonna be trying to do that this week with the schedule. The schedule's gonna come out, and it's like I'm pretty sure I'm doing 7 streams throughout the week, and I'm by far most excited to play Blueprints. Like it's not even close.
Yeah.
That's why more than half of them are Blueprints. And so I'm doing these streams and they're like doing the coffee. The first thing that I start to do is I'm like, okay, let's just do information gathering and do a run. I know that most people use a notepad or a notebook during this, but I'm like, I don't need that early enough on. I'm not going to really start to
You're right.
put things together. The first time you get in the parlor room, and it is the 3 boxes. I love the one guard lies, one guard tells the truth. Figure it out. Ask the right question,
Logic
sort of
puzzle.
stuff.
Yeah.
Just perfect logic puzzle. That's on my alley. I forget that like as a kid I liked riddles. I liked those like brain
Mhm.
teasers, stuff like that. All about it. That was sort of the first endorphin hit where I was like, okay, this is great. Then there's a moment where you get into what I believe is the chapel. It's the church area, the Christian, and you see the stained glasses. And there's a moment where I kind of noticed something about something, and I was like, oh shit, I need to write that down. Like, and that was the moment
Yeah.
where I was like, each room is gonna have clues for me to figure out.
Oh,
When
that's
I
awesome,
start,
man.
I'm at the point where like there's starting to be like, I'm just gonna say letter puzzles with certain rooms. I am like euphoric doing these
Yeah.
puzzles. Like it feels so good. And I have now made
Yeah.
it to the antechamber and stuff like that. I'm just gonna say I've made it to the antechamber. I'm about 12 days in, or 13, or maybe 15. I don't even know anymore. The time's a flat circle. Uh, it feels it's insane how good this game feels to play, and the permanent progression stuff that is in this game, however small it is, feels insane. And I fucking love this game. Here's the thing, like, critically, I'm at like a 9 out of 10. Like, I'm not at a 9.5. I'm not at a 10. This would probably be my like number 5 or 6 last year. This is
I was going to ask you that.
This is one of my favorite games ever. Like, because it's the full experience that I'm having, and like, I love when I finish a year of content and everything, and the memories I get to pull are memories like this. Like, I will never, like, last year, Elden Ring Night Rain, great example. It was like my 7 on the list. Playing Elden Ring Night Rain for review with Connor, one of my favorite experiences in my entire life. But critically, and where I was like, well, I want to put this game over it, so I'm going to put it over it and stuff like that, unless it's 7 or maybe 6. But like, this is exactly what I want from that. I like, my question is like, is this game better than Split Fiction? I think Split Fiction is the greatest co-op game ever created. So no, I don't think this game is better than Split Fiction. And then going up the board, I don't think it's better than Death Stranding 2. I don't think it's better than Expedition 33. And I don't think it. And once again, it's a point difference. These games are both awesome. Doesn't hold a candle to the Hades 2, and I'll never forgive you for the rest of my life. With that being said, though, like, I am never gonna forget my experience playing this game. I understand why people put hundreds and hundreds of hours into it, especially the puzzle nerds, the escape room nerds. That totally makes sense. That totally checks out. But like, Jason Schreier, when he was reviewing it, he's like, this is the greatest game ever made. Basically, it's a masterpiece. Of course, like, I'm putting 100+ hours. Like, I get that. I'm in on that. I'm in on that wave. I have my critiques, and to speak to some of those critiques, I do think that some of the time the game is a little bit too, like, I small things, even like, I want to enter a room, I don't want a metal detector, and I want to be able to find all the fucking the coins and keys that are already in there. Small stuff like that. I feel like some of the rooms in runs feel a little bit short-lived, and I wish that there was a little bit better ways to get out of runs, especially with the amount of RNG that's in it. Because like, when you're having a good run and then it gets cooked for something silly, it feels a little bit worse. I wish that there was like a better get out of jail free card sort of situation with some of the runs. And maybe there is down the line, but especially early game, it's like, I'm doing this run to get to one thing. I'm about to get to that thing. And then like, oh, I just get a red room that blocks me off, and I have nowhere to go. And it's like, I now I have to go and do it all over again, and I might not even get there. And now my brain kind of wants to do something else. And I kind of wish I just had that answer this run. Once again, you can blame the players. You can say that's on me. That feeling occurs a little bit too much for my liking. And once again, you shouldn't be able to be like, well, my big idea is to beat this game this run, so, and the game doesn't allow me to do that. It's not that. It is like just a little bit of fine tuning.
There are some silly things that happen. I do agree with you. There are some things that are just like, you know, you're on such a roll, and then this like roadblock that you could not have seen coming just hits you.
So real quick, the keys. I'm excited for the question. The key system. You drop a room. You have 2 keys left. You have 3 doors. You open the 2 doors, you have that 1 door, you have no keys left, and it's locked, and you didn't expect it to be locked. That sucks. Like, I like small stuff like that. They're easy, in my opinion, like, easy critiques. But I understand that if someone was like, I want to call this game a masterpiece. Yeah, sure. This game is fucking unbelievable. It is fucking. I can only, like, once again, I'm talking to like 20 people, 20 of my friends. 10 of my friends are looking at me like I have 4 heads on, and I'm like, I don't care. Like, I just need to talk about this. This has been my week, and it's been phenomenal. What was the question you're about to ask?
I don't even have a question. I was just going to say that I love how you put it, where like, you know, critically you would put it at a certain spot, but like based off of the experience, it's like one of your favorite games of all time. That's like, I feel like that's such a special thing about video games, and something that happens so often. And it just goes to show that there are so many external factors that go into like your enjoyment of the game. Like, I don't know, my mood, or just sort of like my surroundings, or how I set myself up to start playing something, that all factors into just like what my experience was. So it's kind of funny to just say like, the game is the game, and you only judge it on the merits of the game. It's like, there's so much more to it. You know?
Dude, I will not like the people at Starbucks are starting to know who I am, because I arrive at the same time every day at this point. And like trying to time out, like, okay, I don't want to, like, I want to sleep in as much as possible because I'm staying up late just consistently with content shit. And so it's like I want to
Yeah.
sleep in as late as possible. If I wake up at 8, I can shower and then like get ready and go to Starbucks, and I will get back around like 8:45. But if I sleep for 10 more minutes, I maybe like people will be okay with me getting on at 8:55. But that the first like day I did this, like I forgot that it's about when school time is. So I was like stuck behind a
Yeah.
fucking bus for like 20 minutes, and I'm like, well, I'm gonna be late to stream, y'all. My bad.
Yeah.
This game's special, and thanks for putting me onto it,
That's
man.
awesome,
And
man.
like obviously there's multiple people, but like this doesn't happen without me wanting to stream the Outer Wilds and us talking about that
Right.
last week. And so like just being
Yeah.
like, well, I'm doing blueprints first, and maybe this can set a good tone for March and like what we want to do with Cope 64 with streaming a little bit in this month, because we don't now have any bonus streams, well, like weekend bonus streams planned. So shout out to all the people in the UK, also our UK audience that watch this whole thing. Thank you so much. Also, the reason I didn't go through the Twitch stuff was like the only thing that we know is happening this week is, as of right now, as a shooting, is Blueprints in the morning and me playing Life is Strange. We don't know what Monday's stream is going to be, because I think it might end up actually being Marathon and not Ghost Legends. And Connor beat Dark Souls, and I
Okay.
don't know what he's playing. So
Okay.
just a heads up, streaming though, it's going to be a fun week nonetheless, especially with Blueprints in the morning, and it's going to be a great time. Rogan, we're not done with the episode yet. We got a draft
done
to do,
yet.
big dog. Do you want the first pick?
Do I want it? No, I'm gonna give it to you actually.
Yeah, because you know what I'm going to pick, and it's not something you want. Anyways, today we are drafting indie games. We have Rogan Plays games with us, so we got to go and do it. And with my first pick, Rogan was gracious enough to give me the first pick. I'm choosing my favorite indie game ever created, and one of the best games ever created, Undertale. I love how unique the gameplay is in this one. The art design is brilliant, and it has like a top 3 soundtrack for me in gaming. I can listen to the Undertale soundtrack literally every single day. And when I beat this game for the first time, I listened to it for like every day for 3 months, I want to say. It's now a staple in my video game playlist. Like, I just love the soundtrack to bits. I love the characters to bits. Like, the whole world of Undertale is extremely well done. Undertale is my first pick.
For my first pick, I am gonna go with one that you probably didn't see coming. Outer Wilds. Favorite indie game of all time. I think a lot of people look at this game as being like, I don't want to overhype it or anything like that, but it's kind of like a life-changing experience for a lot of people. There's your life before Outer Wilds and your life after it. But I do understand that it's a very sort of specific type of game that's really going to hit for the specific people that it's for. And some people might not love that, and that's okay. But I'm a sucker for narrative puzzle games where the knowledge and your experience of the world is the sort of reward. A Metroidvania, perhaps some people have been calling them. It's my favorite type of game, and Outer Wilds is my favorite indie game of all time, so it's my first pick.
All right, Rogan, what is your next pick?
My second pick is going to be Inscription, my favorite deck builder of all time. First time I played this game, I was kind of blown away by how well the game played, just the card game itself, but there's so many other elements that make it so much more than that. There's this like creepy cabin escape room element to it. There's all these puzzles to solve outside of the game. And honestly, if the game was only that, it would be a masterpiece already, but it goes places. And I'm really into games that subvert expectations, and that's exactly what Inscription does.
Dude, you like unironically, I just want to play more indie games because I'm hanging out with you more,
Yep.
just in general, and we were talking more and more. It's like I haven't beaten Inscription yet. And it's like that would be a good one to do in the morning. Like just let's just
Great
keep
one.
it rolling. So yeah, no, and it's one of Connor's all-time faves too. So I would like to get to it eventually.
Yeah.
With my next pick, I'm choosing Hades 2. This game is a masterpiece. It is a game that I cannot shut up about. When I was playing it, I was obsessed. I was staying up till 4 a.m, multiple nights a week, just sinking time in because this game is so much fun. It nails how gameplay should feel in a way that I am dumbfounded at, and that they were able to evolve over to Hades 1 in a clear way, in my opinion. Like, Hades 1 rules, don't get me wrong. I wouldn't be even upset if you drafted it during this draft, because how do you do a draft like this and not have a Hades on your team? But like, Hades 2 is just so clearly better with the gameplay innovations that they have, the seemingly endless dialogue trees with these gods, the base building aspects a little bit around your camp before you go out on runs. This game's fucking unbelievable. Hades 2 with my second pick. And with my third pick, Rogan, this is the first time on this podcast where I'm going to play the game a little bit, and I'm just going, I'm going after you. I'm choosing Cuphead with my third pick. One of the most beautiful games ever. A game that Rogan, I believe, has said arguably the most beautiful game ever created. And with the difficulty that this one has, as somebody that loves bashing their head in against the wall over and over again until they come out and succeed, my time with Cuphead is one of my favorite gameplay experiences ever. Art style's ridiculous, music's ridiculous, and the different gameplay mechanics with the pea shooter and the way that that can change is great. Shout out to King Dice, and also that thing can go and fuck itself. Because oh man, that final boss is awful, but it's also so good. It's so good. So that is my second and third pick. Rogan, welcome to welcome to the big leagues, buddy. I'm trying to snipe picks now. So this is going to be a grudge match, because I definitely know that there is a non-zero chance that Cuphead was the next words that were going to come out of your mouth if I didn't pick it there.
I love that game so much. But my next pick is Disco Elysium. One of the best narrative games. One of the most well-written video games I've ever experienced. It initially came out with like no voice acting or anything like that, and if you would just have to read the majority of the game. Now it's Disco Elysium: The Final Cut, has full voice acting, and it is such an amazing experience. The characters in this game are so flawed and nuanced, and that's like all part of the narrative structure of the game, and it makes it interesting. It provides a level of conflict and stakes that just make every decision that you make matter. I love the sort of like role-playing elements of the game as well, especially the dice roll stuff. This is the type of game where, your stats determine how successful you'll be in your dice rolls when you're making certain decisions. And if you get over a certain threshold, you succeed. And if you get under that, you fail. It doesn't really matter whether you succeed or fail, regardless of what the outcome is. It's going to be interesting. I think that's one of the best things about this game. Also, Kim Kitsuragi is like your side character in this game, and one of the best companion characters in video games. If you ever get a chance to play it, you're going to love him instantly. So that's my next pick.
Rogan, you're just trying to fill out my streaming schedule, man. Like that, because I do want to play Disco Elysium quite a lot. Also, what I'm realizing literally is between your picks and Connor's top 50 that he did, there's so many indie games that I'm like, I kind of want to get to that one next, and I kind of want to get. You're just putting me on the peak in a lot of ways. Disco Elysium, IGN's 10th greatest game of all time, by the way. Like, this is a heavy hitter. So I don't know if I'm getting smoked in this draft or not, but there's a good chance I am. So what do you got next for your fourth pick?
My next pick is gonna be I'm gonna go with Hyper Light Drifter. 2016, I believe this game dropped. Kind of like a top-down Zelda-like in this very strange post-apocalyptic sci-fi like world. A lot of its narrative elements are like they're not told to you outright. Like you're just taking context clues from the environments and understanding, okay, I am not on Earth, that's for sure. Or maybe I am, who knows? But this game, I love the exploration elements of them. This is like one of the first sort of like Zelda-like, old school Zelda-like games that I played that I'm like, oh my God, like they did this in modern day and it feels modern, but it's also got the like retro qualities that I just like love from some of my favorite games back in the day. This game's world is really weird, and there are all these remnants of just these like large scale beings and towers and all this like just foliage all over the place, and there are definitely remnants of something that was there before. I've never dived into like the actual lore of all of this, but just experiencing it through the visuals alone is a really special thing. And the soundtrack for this game, out of this world. If you ever want something more synthy sci-fi and you're just working, and like even if you haven't played the game or you don't plan on playing the game, the soundtrack is a great one. Like I have it on in the background a lot of times when I'm when I'm working. It's awesome. This game's great.
So you have one pick left, right?
Yeah.
I'm gonna write down what I think your last pick's gonna be. Just
Okay.
just wrote it. We're good to go. I got 2 picks, right?
Perfect.
I know exactly what
Yeah.
my picks are gonna be. With my 4th pick, Hollow Knight. And that's it. No Silk
yeah.
Song. I'm a Hollow Knight 1/2 person. I think that Hollow Knight Silk Song makes some decisions that I don't love with its gameplay structure, whereas Hollow Knight gives me exactly what I want from a Metroidvania experience in an extremely well stylized way that is pretty unique to Hollow Knight, especially in the 2D art style that it has. It's ridiculous. It's gorgeous. First time you enter City of Tears, I was in shock and awe, and you would be too. Like it's unbelievable. Hollow Knight is just one of the GOAT indie games. And with my last pick, I'm going personal. I'm gonna go personal because I'd rather go personal in the game I think is better than pander. Okay. So I'm gonna go and
And
choose.
pander.
Yeah. I'm choosing Neva. Neva is gonna be my last pick. I think
Nice.
that Neva's art style is probably underrated at this point, which is silly because literally when I was playing this game, anytime I would put down the controller, I would just see maybe one of the most beautiful screenshots I've ever seen in my entire life. Every single one
Yeah.
could be a background on a desktop, and you would be like, yep, this is gorgeous and it looks like it should be in a museum. And then the emotional stakes that are in this game are nothing short of heart-wrenching. You're playing basically a Studio Ghibli movie. You're basically playing Princess Mononoke, and Princess Mononoke, one of the greatest movies ever made. What they're able to do in a 4-hour runtime is insane. So my last
That
choice,
movie 4 hours?
yeah, it's like 4
Holy
hours.
moly.
No, that was
Fuck.
4 hours. So, Princess Mononoke is
Oh,
not.
okay,
Yeah.
okay.
But yes, 4 hours for this unbelievable indie game. I fucking love Neva. I
So good.
still need to finish the prologue. I booted up, then my controller wasn't working properly, and I haven't gone back to it yet. But I will definitely play it.
It's pretty quick.
Yeah, it's about an hour,
Yeah,
right? From
it's great.
what I've
Yeah.
heard. Yeah. And I've already
Yeah.
played like 25 minutes of it. I literally my
Nice.
controller stopped working, put it down, started doing something else. But yeah, I definitely want to
Yeah.
get back to it because I like if there is not a Neva truther on the planet, I'm dead. Like
Yeah.
this is for me. My big issue with it is people don't put it in the conversation of a lot of the games that we've already discussed, and I think that's dumb.
Yeah.
I think it's one of the greatest games ever made.
I
Rogan,
love it.
I have a prediction in front of me, but I'm curious to see if I nail it. What is your final pick?
I can go with a couple different options here, but I'm actually gonna go with a bit more of a deep cut for me,
Okay.
at least. I'm gonna go with a game called Chance of Senar. So this is. Can you tell me what you thought mine was gonna be?
That was gonna be Hotline Miami, so I'm wrong.
Oh, that would have been a good one though.
I
That's
thought,
on the
I thought
that's
you
on the
were
short
also gonna
list for number
pander a
6.
little bit, and also you pander, and it's up your alley, and you probably win the draft
Yeah.
with a choice like that. But go with Chance of Sonar.
I just didn't want to like defeat you too badly.
Oh yeah, thanks, man. Well, I chose that. I feel like we're doing a good thing here with these final 2 picks, being like, let's do the personal
Yes,
ones.
totally.
Let's give our nods. You know, by the way, my other choice was Blatro. I thought about choosing Blatro just because
Yeah.
basically a lot of
Good
people's goatee in 2024. The game's unbelievable. It's phenomenal. So yeah, thought about choosing that too.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, this one I think I'm pandering to the indie sickos out there, because anybody who has played Chants of Sennaar knows how beautiful a game it is. It's like a deduction puzzle game. It's set in this like tower, but each floor of the tower there's like a different group of people that live there, but all of the tower levels of the tower are sort of like closed off from one another, and each of them have their own language. And that's the whole game. You sort of have to decipher the languages of the different floors of this tower, and it's brilliantly designed. Like it's all this like iconography that you're trying to understand what the meaning is, and you're using visual puzzles to sort of, oh, okay, this thing applies to this thing, so this is what the meaning is, and sort of filling in the blanks that way. And then as you get higher up in the tower, you're sort of using the context you have for other languages to inform what this one is. It's a really great idea for a game, and it's really well executed. The art style is so vibrant and just like nice to look at. And I don't know. I just think the overall message, like the lasting impression I had with the game was just like such a positive one, and I felt so like fulfilled at the end of it, which is my favorite feeling at the end of a game, when I feel like I've sort of like taken it all in and I come away with something new, you know? And that's what I felt playing Chants of Sennaar.
Awesome, man. Do you want to go through honorable mentions, or do we just point people to your content and say watch Rogan's shit because that's all the honorable mentions that could be
Oh,
there?
dude, I could have, yeah, picked quite a few. Hollow
Yeah.
Knight Silksong is
Yep.
definitely up there for me. I had Blueprints up there as well. That was my game of the year last year. Hotline Miami is definitely one that's there. Tunic and Return to the Obra Dinn were probably the highest ones up there too. But I wanted to give a little bit of love to a deeper cut. What about you? Anything else?
Limbo, Inside, Cocoon, and
Nice. Yeah.
Balatro, and honestly, Hades 1. Like, Hades 1, it's still kind of funny. Like, Hades 2 rips. Like, don't get me wrong. Hades 1 is
Yeah.
still like a 9.5 out of 10 type of game for me. Like, that game is
Totally.
still just fucking
100%.
unbelievable. But yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, like, I also do like that you highlighted a game that you did on the previous podcast too, with not doing your Tunic spiel, not doing like the funniest part is, Rogan, will we ever have you on a CGC episode where you don't mention the Outer Wilds? I think that's not going to happen. Like,
I hope not, honestly. I want to mention it every opportunity I can. It's like my content, dude. If it doesn't feel right if I go a week without mentioning it in at least one video. I feel empty inside a little bit, so I try to get it in there at least once.
hell yeah, man. Well, as always, dude, thank
Yep.
you so much for being on this, and thank you for
Thanks for having
listening.
me.
If you're over at the highest tier on patreon.com/Cope64, you get your name read at the end of each and every podcast we do here at Cope64. Amazing members like Han Solo, Logan Hamilton, Chad Chaddington III, Roland K, A2 Tone Hooligan, 40 Awesome O, G Town, Stellinator, Humunga Dunga, Night Echo, Skull Thunder, Caleb Beef, Squiddelicious, Soundhills X, Blake Has a Dog, Cash R, JKP, Pigeon Power, Don B, Tyler Searchells, Raincoat, Ooh, Gracie, Choose Our MG Dunbar, Mr. Munchies, Malcolm the Dog, Farmer Spud, Rocket Tater, Nofi, the Dankest, Mike, Swampy Bits, Scones, EC, he's the killer, cheese, Aloha, Ali, Scooterman, Censuro, Hook'em Horns, Go, Nash, Neutral Sphere, Eli the Unusual, the Neutron Style, Easton C, Kingdom Hearts Rules, Stooby Dooby Dooba, Crispy, DJ Zach B, Uli, Jacob D, Big Mac, Melanie, the Patty Cake, Bear Pod, Cowboy Jesus, Mega, Yogi, Damn! Holden M, Brock, Voodoo, Milky Sands, Reggie Ranks, Alex the Golden, Andrew H, Master Days, Cannon Fodder Games, Only One, Rufus, J Map B3, Snake, Ali Benali, Bikel, and Kingdom Hearts Sucks. Thank you for listening. And Rogan, once again, dude, thank you so much for stepping in, hosting a couple CGCs with me. You are
course.
phenomenal. And these podcasts apparently just keep on getting longer with you, man, because this is the longest one we've shot yet by quite a bit.
Yeah.
So thank you so much for being on, and we will see you in the next one. Peace out.